Welcome, gentlemen, to today's video. I am Dr. Samuel Grant. After observing thousands of older male patients over more than 30 years, I've always been puzzled by one astonishing phenomenon. Why do some men still retain their vitality, confidence, and sexual performance even after the age of 70, while others begin to decline much earlier? The answer, surprisingly, does not lie in modern technology or expensive therapies. It lies in a country well known for its high life expectancy, Japan, where older men can still work, move, love, and stay connected in a full and fulfilling way. And the special thing is, they don't rely on medications nor overuse supplements. Instead, they follow a very unique lifestyle, simple, consistent, and grounded in solid physiological science. In this video, I will walk with you through secrets that are not unfamiliar, but extremely effective, helping them preserve male strength in a sustainable, gentle way without pressure or dependency. There's one interesting thing that surprised me. The first secret on this journey comes from something seemingly too familiar, even often overlooked. Yet it has a profound impact on the male physiological system in middle and later age. If you're stepping into your 60s or already past 70, then I believe this first part will make you take a closer look at your daily habits. Because very possibly, just one small adjustment can make a big change to your body. But before we begin, I'd really like to know, what's your name and where are you watching this video from? Being able to accompany gentlemen who truly care about their health is something I deeply value. Please leave a greeting in the comment section below. And if you find today's sharing valuable, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any deeper content in the coming time. Also, if you have any questions about sexual health, don't hesitate to write them below. I will choose the most practical questions to answer through upcoming dedicated videos. And now let's begin with the first secret, an essential part of Japanese men's lifestyle, but one that most Western men have unintentionally overlooked. Secret 1. Living slowly with purpose and staying connected. The foundation that helps Japanese men maintain natural vitality after 70. If you ever have the chance to visit Okinawa, a region globally famous for its impressive longevity, you'll easily notice something special about how the men here live. They are not rushed, not swept into a fast-paced lifestyle. Instead, they start the day with very simple things, waking up early, taking a walk around the neighborhood, greeting neighbors with a gentle smile. Every morning they spend a few minutes in quiet meditation just to breathe deeply, stabilize the mind, and realign their inner rhythm. However, what's most noteworthy is just that calmness, but a profound concept called ikigai, or the reason to live each day. To the Japanese, especially older men, waking up every morning isn't just to exist, but to do something meaningful, no matter how small. Modern science has made it clear. When a man has a clear life purpose, feels valuable, still contributing, and maintains positive social connections, the hypothalamic, pituitary, testicular axis functions more rhythmically. And this is exactly the system that produces testosterone, the core hormone that maintains sexual health, energy, and confidence in men. On the other hand, in many Western countries, many men after the age of 60 fall into a state of being lost, isolated, or simply accept that their role is over. And that not age itself is the real reason for the decline in sexual vitality. Therefore, a lifestyle that is slow but purposeful, combined with community connection and positive mindset, is the first and very sustainable factor. That helps Japanese men maintain their vigor without relying on any supportive drugs. In the next part, I'll share a completely different aspect, but also an essential nutritional piece in the lifestyle of Japanese men. A group of foods that seem ordinary but have a powerful effect on hormones and circulation, especially important for men after middle age. Dear friend, if you're still watching up to this point, I'm very glad you truly care about your health. Please leave the number 1 below in the comments to let me know that you're still with me on this journey. Secret 2. Eat right to live well, the Japanese diet, and its role in male sexual health after 70. When it comes to the diet of older Japanese men, people often think immediately of sushi, seaweed, or green tea. But in reality, the foods that seem simpler and more rustic are actually the silent foundation helping them maintain sexual function in a stable and lasting way. One of those is natto, a fermented soybean dish with a rather distinctive smell and taste. Although not everyone easily gets used to it, natto contains nattokinase, an enzyme that supports circulation, helps prevent the formation of small blood clots, and thereby improves blood flow to the genital area. an important factor in maintaining natural erectile function in middle-aged and older men. In addition, isoflavones in soybeans also act as a form of plant hormone, gently balancing male hormones and supporting stable testosterone levels, without causing suppression like some external interventions. We must also mention fatty fish like saba, salmon, mackerel, fish rich in omega-3s that reduce inflammation, improve vascular elasticity, and boost circulation, all of which are essential for a healthy sexual system. Alongside that, seaweed, marine algae, and low-starch vegetables frequently appear in Japanese meals. These foods not only provide fiber and iodine, but also support thyroid function, which is closely related to metabolism and male stamina. All these foods are not some kind of miracle superfoods, but when consumed regularly over time and combined with a disciplined lifestyle, they become a quiet key to naturally maintaining male performance without needing medication or supplements. Right after this, we'll move on to a factor that seems unrelated to sexual health, but in fact acts as an invisible trigger for hormones, circulation, and even self-confidence in Japanese men, moving the body the right way at the right time and within the right limits of age. Secret 3. Smart movement, activating vitality from within instead of relying on the outside. Most people assume that after the age of 70, physical activity should be light, relaxing, and not too focused. But if you look into the daily habits of Japanese men, you'll see a completely different truth. They don't exercise to build bulging muscles. They don't aim to become athletes. But they maintain purposeful movement every day by walking briskly in the early morning, practicing simple exercises using the Katsujin undo method, or simply stretching the hips, lower back, and thighs. These seemingly gentle movements actually have a powerful effect. They activate circulation, helping blood move more efficiently to sexual organs. They keep the central nervous system sharp, reducing hormonal sluggishness commonly seen in middle age. And especially, they maintain the natural reflex of testosterone, ensuring the body doesn't forget how to preserve male strength according to its natural physiology. Just 15-20 minutes of movement per day, no equipment needed, no gym required. You're already helping your body recover, self-regulate, and maintain a foundation of internal vitality, something no medication can sustainably replace. And when movement is right, nutrition is sufficient, then the last element for sustaining connection is emotion. In the next part, I'll share about an invisible factor, but one that impacts just as powerfully as any biological factor: the mental and emotional bond in a couple's life. If you're still watching up to this point, thank you for patiently listening until now. I truly appreciate that. Please leave the number 3 below in the comments so I know I'm not speaking alone. Secret 4. Emotional bonding and hormonal balance, the invisible key to restoring male vitality after 60. Throughout many years of working with elderly patients, I realized something. Improving sexual health does not come solely from personal effort. It also depends heavily on the emotional environment surrounding a man. Because no matter how much knowledge, determination, or structured planning he has, there will always be moments when a man feels tired, unmotivated, or doubtful of himself. And the factor that makes the greatest difference at such times is not a medical treatment, but a companion, a wife, a life partner, or simply someone who is willing to listen without judgment. I have witnessed many men overcome feelings of sexual inadequacy thanks to one simple thing: the silent and patient presence of the one beside them. No need for grand words. Just a timely handhold, a gentle word of encouragement. Sometimes that alone is enough to help a man overcome shame and regain lost confidence. From a physiological perspective, modern science confirms that when a man feels accepted, loved, and respected, the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, and the production of oxytocin and dopamine becomes more stable. These hormones not only reduce stress, but also enhance the activity of the male hormonal axis, thus supporting the natural production of testosterone. This shows that sexual function is not just a matter of the body, but also the result of connection, emotions, and positive interaction within a relationship. And it is through this kind of steady companionship that many Japanese couples have passed through and beyond andropause, not by using medication, but through deep understanding, support, and emotional bonding, something that even modern medicine cannot completely replace. However, there is still one more thing that often goes unnoticed: what allows them to have such inner strength even as they grow older. That lies in the very different way Japanese men perceive old age and their role after 60. And that's what we'll explore in the next part. Secret 5. how Japanese men view aging and why they do lose their inner strength. In my work with hundreds of men entering and moving through middle age, I've often encountered worried and contemplative eyes. Sometimes, without a single word being spoken, it's enough to understand. They don't ask directly, but deep down they share the same concern. Have I already passed my best years? Do I still have value now that my health isn't what it used to be? This is not unusual. In many cultures, men after 60 are often labeled as those who should begin to step back, to withdraw from being the pillar of strength. And unfortunately, these ingrained ideas sometimes take away the confidence and inner strength they once had. But in Japan, there's a very different perspective. Older men are not seen as weaker, but rather as more mature, rich in experience, composed, insightful, and able to lead through wisdom instead of physical strength. To them, aging is not an end, but a phase in which their value is elevated. They believe that the strength of a man after 60 doesn't come from muscles, but from his ability to adapt, to navigate himself, and to maintain stability in his role, even when his body is no longer at its peak. Thanks to this mindset, they remain proactive in the family, continue to play important roles in the community, and are not dragged down by worries about aging. That positive mental state not only preserves their spirit, but also influences hormones, the immune system, and even sexual health, indirectly but very clearly. Because when a man is no longer obsessed with what he has lost, can more easily rebuild what remains through the strength that comes from within. And when all those elements, mindset, lifestyle, nutrition, movement, and emotions, are in place, there is one more component that seems small, yet plays an irreplaceable role in maintaining stable vitality and restoring energy after 60. It is how you rest and recover in alignment with your biological rhythm each day, which we will discuss in greater depth in the next part. Secret 6. Strategic rest, how Japanese men naturally restore vitality without medication. Over many years of monitoring the health of older men, I've realized something that seems simple, but is actually a crucial link that often gets overlooked. The body doesn't recover when you're trying to do one more thing. It only truly regenerates when you rest the right way. And this is not just about how it feels. It has been confirmed by numerous physiological studies. That's why in the lifestyle of Japanese men, especially those over 70, rest is never treated lightly. On the contrary, they view it as a proactive part of their vitality recovery process. It's not just about getting 7-8 hours of sleep. They intentionally structure their rest time, from taking a 15-20-minute nap after lunch, to meditating or relaxing lightly in the evening, to minimizing exposure to light and electronic devices after 9 p.m., so the body can shift into a natural recovery state. In addition, traditional practices such as onsen-style warm baths, soaking the feet at night, or gentle sauna sessions are also done regularly by the Japanese. These habits not only dilate blood vessels, boost circulation, and relieve pressure on the nervous system, but also stimulate the release of restorative hormones, including testosterone. Numerous studies have confirmed those who structure their rest properly and manage light stress before bedtime tend to have more stable hormone levels, deeper sleep, and significantly improved sexual function, especially after age 60. In the West, rest is often equated with laziness or lack of productivity. But in Japan, rest is seen as part of a healthy living strategy, a time for the body to self-regulate, heal, and regenerate from the inside without needing any medication. And once nutrition, exercise, mindset, and rest have fallen into a stable rhythm, the final factor for long-term vitality comes down to something seemingly simple. Do you have the discipline to maintain these habits every single day? That's what we'll clarify in the next section, where everything you've learned is brought together through consistent action. Secret 7. Living with discipline, the foundation of Japanese men's sexual vitality. What you've just learned about diet, exercise, and resting according to the biological rhythm is not some short-term trick or seasonal trend. These are biologically grounded principles that directly impact hormones, circulation, and male vitality if repeated consistently and with discipline. Over more than 30 years working with middle-aged men, I've seen many who had lost faith in themselves, but gradually regained their confidence, strength, and sense of connection simply by returning to the basics, understanding their body, adjusting their lifestyle, and sticking with it day by day. Japanese men don't rely on a quick fix. Instead, they focus on changing small habits. From food choices, adjusting sleep schedules, to keeping up gentle movement each morning as an inseparable part of their daily rhythm. Most importantly, they don't skip steps. They understand that sexual strength doesn't come from expensive treatments or special pills, but is the result of accumulated effort through patience and discipline. They believe in the body's natural ability to heal as long as it's given the right support. Clean eating, a calm mindset, a positive environment, and proper rest cycles. And it's that steadfast lifestyle, though simple, that creates a clear difference between a body gradually aging and a body that continues to feel alive, full of energy, emotions, and connection. However, all of these factors become even more effective when we learn how to connect them into a complete system, where willpower, emotion, and behavior are aligned toward a shared goal. That's the special insight I want to share with you in the next part, where you'll see how just one well-timed adjustment can awaken your entire physiological system that's been quietly lying dormant inside you. Secret 8. Sustain sexual vitality through internal connection, strength that comes from within. What has always impressed me most about Japanese men over 70 is not a single outstanding factor, but rather the quiet harmony between their body, emotions, and lifestyle. They don't take care of their physical health in isolation, nor do they focus only on nutrition or rest as separate pieces. On the contrary, every habit is tightly woven into a living ecosystem, where willpower, emotion, and behavior function in harmony. When a man maintains inner balance, not letting stress, anxiety, or shame take over, then the endocrine system, especially the hypothalamus-pituitary, testicular axis works more efficiently. And this is the very foundation that allows the body to naturally and steadily produce testosterone without any external intervention. The Japanese understand clearly. Even with a complete diet and reasonable exercise, if the spirit isn't nourished, if a man is always bracing himself or has lost his sense of purpose, then his sexual vitality is unlikely to be sustained. That's why they're not afraid to spend time on seemingly still activities, sitting quietly with tea, a short morning meditation, or a peaceful walk in the park. These are not just forms of relaxation, they are ways to release mental tension. Activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest, regeneration, and energy recovery. This connection between physical discipline, positive emotions, and belief in steady rhythms is what helps them maintain their masculine strength in a sustainable way, quietly yet resiliently against the passage of time. My dear friend, I've met many men after the age of 60 who came to me not because they wanted an instant fix, but because they wanted to fully live again, to feel, to connect, and to be themselves, instead of just being an aging body. And I've seen many cases where transformation happened, thanks to small things done the right way at the right time. A proper bathing routine that improves circulation, a gentle daily exercise, or simply relearning how to listen to and care for oneself. Japanese men don't have any particularly special conditions. They simply choose to live with discipline, to maintain small habits, like sleeping on time, eating in moderation, and staying emotionally connected, and to repeat them daily with a clear and purposeful mindset. That's why they maintain vitality, not thanks to modern technology, but because of a lifestyle grounded in self-understanding, consistency, and depth. If you found value in what was shared in this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss upcoming content on men's health after 60. And if you have any questions or topics of concern, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I'll pick the most practical ones to address in future videos. Thank you for listening until the end. Wishing you strength, resilience, and the ability to fully live each stage of life with the confidence that defines a true man.